North Korea, one of the most secretive countries in the world, hides many surprising facts that will leave you astonished. Today, we're diving into the top 10 surprising facts about North Korea and its girls that you probably never knew. Get ready to have your minds blown. It's a side of North Korea you won't find in your textbooks. So buckle up, smash that like button for the algorithm, and let's jump right into the mystery of North Korea.
Alright guys, first up we're talking about fashion, or the lack of it. Imagine a world where your clothing choices are decided by the government. That's the reality for women in North Korea. Forget about rocking the latest trends. Girls here have to follow a strict dress code. Think modest skirts below the knee, no flashy colours, and definitely no Western influences. It's all about presenting a unified conservative image. We're talking approved haircuts, limited jewelry, and even the style of shoes are regulated. Despite the restrictions, North Korean women have found subtle ways to express their individuality. When everyone has to dress the same, even small details like a unique hair clip or a slightly different style of shoe can become a form of self-expression. It's like a secret code of style only they understand. Even in the most restrictive environments, the human spirit finds a way to shine through.
Okay, get this. North Korea has one of the largest armies in the world, and women play a huge role. These women are on the front lines, training for combat alongside their male counterparts. Imagine the intensity, the dedication. They endure grueling physical training, learn to handle weapons, and are prepared to defend their country at a moment's notice. It's a testament to their strength and resilience. Now, you might be wondering why so many women join the military in North Korea. Well, it's partly due to the country's mandatory military service requirement, but it's also seen as a pathway to opportunity. Military service can offer women a chance to advance in society, gain skills, and even access better education and healthcare. In a country with limited options, the military can be a path to a better life. These women are breaking stereotypes left and right. They're proving that they're just as capable as men in traditionally male-dominated fields.
Alright guys, let's talk beauty pageants, North Korean style. Now, these aren't your typical beauty contests. We're not talking about swimsuits and talent shows. In North Korea, beauty pageants are seen as a celebration of national pride and traditional values. The contestants are carefully chosen, often for their family background, loyalty to the state, and yes, their looks. But here's the thing, these pageants are about more than just physical beauty. The women are judged on their knowledge of North Korean history, their cultural skills, and even their ability to demonstrate traditional crafts. It's like a crash course in all things North Korean. Some might see these pageants as propaganda tools, and sure, there's definitely an element of that. But they also offer a glimpse into the values and aspirations of North Korean society. They showcase the ideals of beauty, grace, and patriotism that are deeply ingrained in their culture. These women are often seen as role models for young girls in North Korea.
Alright, let's step inside a North Korean classroom and see what it's like for girls. Education is mandatory and free in North Korea, which is a plus. But the education system is heavily influenced by the state's ideology. Think textbooks filled with stories of the Kim family's greatness and lessons that emphasize loyalty to the country above all else. It's like a constant reinforcement of the government's narrative. While girls receive the same basic education as boys, there are some key differences. Girls are often steered towards traditionally feminine subjects like home economics, sewing, and music. They're being prepared for their roles as wives and mothers, which are highly valued in North Korean society. But don't think for a second that means they're not getting a rigorous academic education. These girls are expected to excel in math, science, and even foreign languages. Education is seen as a pathway to upward mobility in North Korea.
Okay, we can't talk about North Korea without addressing the elephant in the room propaganda. It's everywhere, and it plays a huge role in shaping the lives of young girls. From the moment they're born, they're bombarded with messages about the greatness of their country, the evils of the outside world, and the unwavering leadership of the Kim dynasty. Now imagine growing up in a world where everything you see, hear, and read is controlled by the government. It's hard to even fathom, right? But that's the reality for girls in North Korea. They're taught to revere their leaders distrust outsiders, and believe that their way of life is the best, even when faced with evidence to the contrary. Despite the constant barrage of propaganda, there are cracks in the facade. As more information seeps into the country through smuggled foreign media and whispers from defectors, some North Koreans, especially the younger generation, are starting to question the narratives they've been fed their entire lives.
All right, let's dive into the world of North Korea's elite women. These are the wives and daughters of high-ranking officials, often living in luxurious compounds with access to privileges that most North Koreans can only dream of. Think designer clothes, gourmet food, private education, and even the freedom to travel, to a certain extent. It's a stark contrast to the lives of ordinary citizens. But don't let the glamour fool you. These women are still bound by the strict rules and social expectations of North Korean society. They may have more material wealth, but their lives are still heavily controlled by the state. One wrong move, one whisper of dissent, could have devastating consequences for their families. Imagine living in a gilded cage, surrounded by luxury, but always aware of the watchful eyes of the state.
All right, we can't talk about North Korea without discussing the impact of international sanctions. These sanctions, aimed at pressuring the government over its nuclear program, have had a devastating effect on the country's economy, and women have borne the brunt of it. Think shortages of essential goods like food, medicine, and basic necessities. Imagine struggling to feed your family, care for your children, and just make ends meet in a country where the shelves are bare. While the sanctions are intended to target the government, it's often the most vulnerable citizens who suffer the most. Women, often responsible for managing households and caring for their families, are forced to become incredibly resourceful, finding creative ways to cope with the shortages and provide for their loved ones. It's a testament to their strength and resilience in the face of adversity.
All right, guys, let's talk about women in the workforce. Now, while North Korea promotes the idea of women as homemakers and mothers, the reality is that women make up a significant portion of the workforce. They're doctors, teachers, factory workers, farmers, you name it, they do it. They're essential to keeping the country running. Traditionally, women have been concentrated in sectors like agriculture, textiles, and healthcare. But in recent years, we've seen a shift. More women are entering fields like technology, engineering, and even business. They're breaking down barriers, improving their capabilities in male-dominated industries. Despite their contributions, women still face a significant wage gap and limited opportunities for advancement.
All right, let's dive into the cultural expectations of women in North Korea. Traditional gender roles are pretty deeply ingrained in their society. Women are expected to be devoted wives, caring mothers, and dutiful daughters. Think filial piety, respect for elders, and a strong emphasis on family harmony. These values are instilled from a young age and are considered essential to maintaining social order. While these expectations might seem a bit old-fashioned to some, they're a part of the fabric of North Korean culture. Many women take pride in their roles as homemakers and caregivers. They're the ones who keep the family unit strong, who pass down traditions, and who provide emotional support in a society that can often feel restrictive and isolating. Just like anywhere else in the world, North Korean women are not a monolith.
All right, guys, get ready for some seriously inspiring stories. We're talking about the North Korean women who've risked everything to escape from the hermit kingdom and start new lives in the outside world. Imagine fleeing your home, leaving behind everything you've ever known, and embarking on a perilous journey to an unknown future. It takes an incredible amount of courage, determination, and resilience. These women have endured unimaginable hardships, facing hunger, exhaustion, and the constant threat of capture. They've crossed rivers under the cover of darkness, navigated treacherous mountains, and evaded the watchful eyes of the North Korean authorities. Once they've escaped, they face a whole new set of challenges. Adapting to a new culture, learning a new language, and coming to terms with the trauma they've endured. Despite the odds, many of these women have gone on to build successful lives for themselves, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail.
Wow, guys, we've just scratched the surface of what life is like for girls in North Korea. From the strict rules and propaganda to the glimmers of hope and resilience, It's a place that challenges our perceptions and reminds us of the universality of the human experience. If you found these facts surprising, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more intriguing content. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos.